All right, joining me right now is XFC lightweight contender Kurt Holobaugh. Kurt, how you doing, man? I see you in the gi. Did you just
Yeah,
get out of
man.
teaching?
Nah, I'm still teaching.
Okay.
Second training session today, but I do a lot of gi work. I got a lot of kids classes that I run, and right after those kids classes, I get my own time in. But yeah, I'm a big. I train a lot in the gi, man. Big jujitsu guy.
Yeah, the gi. I guess there's a debate on whether it helps you in MMA. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it does, man, because it's not easy to move in. There's so many more grips, and if somebody's on top of you, they can hold you in so mmany different ways. So it really takes a lot more effort to get up. So that's one of the reasons I like training in it, because I got training partners that are very good at holding me down, and it's very similar to fighting a good wrestler out in the cage, and that guy gets on top, and it's very hard to get up. So I mean, you're not as slippery. They can hold you down. They got many different grips, and you get a much better workout. I like training with it, honestly, just because I break a good sweat.
Oh, definitely, definitely, man. The gi is just sweat city, man. I'm serious, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
sure.
you mentioned doing classes, the kids, and I know you own a business. You actually have two gyms. How has life been lately, balancing the fighting with running businesses, man? Because with the COVID and everything going on.
Lately it hasn't been bad. We're trying to put this COVID thing behind us. Ever since they allowed us to open our doors back up, we've took the proper steps that was recommended to take for the COVID. But hopefully it feels like the COVID's slowly going away, man. So I'm happy about that. We haven't had a lot of cases around here lately. For a while we did. For a while it was kind of bad. A couple people testing positive here and there. Um, but it hasn't really been that hard. I feel like I got a good lifestyle. I teach 5 days a week. Normally I take the weekends off. A little bit different if I'm fighting. I train on the weekends more so, and I do more classes during the day. But with me teaching, I teach a lot at night, which leaves my days completely open. Like today, I traveled out to Baton Rouge to train with a good friend of mine. So it leaves that time of the day open. A lot of times, that's how I get to it. Days I'll go off and I'll train somewhere, and then I'll come back and I'll get a class in at nighttime at my gym while I teach.
Yeah, so the jiu-jitsu is just tight, right? It just never goes
Oh yeah,
away.
never.
Never neglecting that aspect of the game, huh?
Yep, nope. And that's what it's all about, man. You got to be good everywhere.
Mhm. For sure, man. Let's get into last November, man. XFC 43, 26-second finish. You snap a three-fight skid, after more than a year away from competition. Were you feeling the pressures of the circumstances surrounding your return?
Honestly, man, like I keep telling people, I wasn't feeling no pressure in that
Mm.
fight. That fight, all the pressures in the UFC. You're on the big stage. You're fighting the
Mm.
toughest guys in the world. And I had a very good opponent in front of me, a very experienced opponent, a very good Dutch style kickboxer, and I'm like, but this is my style. I don't normally lose fights outside the UFC, so I was 100% confident in that fight. I thought the style up in the matchup was very good. Um, so there was no pressure on my shoulders. I was going in there to do the job, and I got the job done.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely get 26 seconds, man. There's nothing better than a quick finish.
Yeah, man, you're right. And, I've had a lot of quick victories in my
Mm.
career. So that one's definitely up there, one of the quicker ones. And you know, and I have to say, after the three fight losing streak, getting cut from the UFC, going through all the COVID stuff, probably not really training like I could have been for that amount of months that we were down. I still came into that fight feeling amazing. I felt that I trained super hard. I got my body back in really good shape. I didn't have to make the cut to 155. I mean 145 like I've done so many times in the past. This tournament's at 55, and to me that's just love, man.
For sure. Yeah, 155, man. You're fighting there again. How different do you feel inside the cage at that weight?
Um, I feel a little bit different, but I always feel better at 55.
Mm.
And one of the main reasons is when I'm cutting to 45, I put so much into cutting weight instead of training for the fight. Like right now, I'm probably about between 15 and 20 pounds from weight right now, and I feel like that's something I can do in the last week of preparation. I can just the last week I get the weight off, so I get to focus so much more on training and learning new things. Besides, instead of showing up every day and hoping that I get so much weight off this day or so much weight off that day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. The dieting is just something that people don't talk about, but man, it's
Yep.
probably the toughest aspect of getting finishing a camp, right?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and like right now, like I don't even need to lose a ton of weight. Like I said, I probably got between somewhere 15 and 20 pounds, but I'm already treating my body right. I've already been on a nice little diet that I'm going through. I got one of my local sponsors here, Franktown Nutrition. They're supplying me with all kind of these great, clean supplements that I've been taking. You know, waking up every day, hitting me a smoothie, and then I got all these other recovery supplements that help me out. And you know, I'm taking all the right steps to make sure I'm in the best shape of my life. You know, I feel like this tournament, it's mine. I can win it.
For sure, man. And being a UFC vet, I heard that a lot of people turn you down, but then at the same time, do you feel like you have a target on your back because of that moniker?
You know, I feel like, you know, you always got a target on your back. There's not going to be a young and upcoming guy that's trying to make it to the UFC that's going to want to fight you, right? And like I've said before I signed the deal with XFC, you know, I had my managers. They hit me up probably 5 or 6 fights if I had to just guess off the top of my heads, or head of guys from the LFA to Bellator that they were trying to get me matched with, and you know, all of those guys basically said no. You know, there was one fight that I turned down, and I was going all the way over to Abu Dhabi to face Usman Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin, and I'm like, I'm not going to Abu Dhabi unless it's for the UFC or unless I'm making some big money, and especially to fight Khabib's cousin. You know, so I think that's the only one I even turned down. But you know, I think it's just a lot of these guys don't want to risk that their streak or their win because a lot of their managers probably say, "Hey, man, you need one win, and you're going to go to a contender series. You need one win, and the UFC is going to sign you." So they don't want to fight the toughest guy out there for that win.
XFC 44, man, lightweight tournament semifinals. You're taking on Scott Hudson. When you look at his style, what intrigues you about the matchup?
Um, that he's more than likely going to keep it on the feet, and you know, and that leaves all the options open for me because I'm always trying to keep the fights on the feet, normally, anyways. So now, if I got an option, if I want to try to wrestle with this guy, if I want to try to shoot and take this guy down, you know, I feel like that's going to benefit me a little bit more. And I mean, he'll wrestle a little bit too, but I know he's going to want to keep it standing for the most part.
For sure, man. And on the same night that you performed in your last fight, he beat Dewan Owens, right, in the first round. What did you think about his performance and how the fight played out?
I thought he had a pretty good performance. You know, I don't see, or I didn't see Owens pushing him like I'm gonna push him. You know, so I felt that he did slow down a little bit in that fight. Um, but I mean, he had a good performance. He went out there and he did what he needed to do. You know, and basically he did everything but get the finish. You know, I got the finish. I fought a tougher, more experienced guy, and a guy with a very similar style to himself. So, you know, last guy I had, and shit, I forgot the guy's name, Aruba guy. You know, he had a very good Dutch style kickboxing. Now we're gonna go from Dutch style to Muay Thai, but you know, I think both of those styles match me up very well.
With Hudson, when you look at it, take out, the skill set. What do you think are the intangibles, the advantages that you going with?
Um, my speed mainly, my speed and my pace. I think that's going to be the two things that's going to get the job done. Um, because I don't know if he's ever fought anybody that can push like I can push. And not only can I push, man, I've pushed some of the toughest guys in the world. You know, so we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if his size and strength will outmatch my speed and pace. So it's kind of that's what's gonna make this fight a good fight.
Training camp. You mentioned earlier that you going down to Baton Rouge working with some guys. Where else have you worked?
So you know, primarily I'm here with my team at Grace United Team Jucal South. We have about 30 gyms, right, in all different cities down here south in Louisiana. So I get around and I work a lot with you know, guys here and there from these gyms. You know, I got my guys here in my gym that I work with a lot. I got some guys on Mobile, Alabama, Port City MMA. I go down there a lot and work. I'm actually gonna go down there Friday, and get some work in with those guys. Been working with them for quite a while now. Um, so you know, we got a good crew down here with everybody that's involved with our team. So
On your team, who are some guys that we should probably be looking out for? Eventually gonna be fighting soon.
we got some good guys coming up. We got two guys called the Hughes brothers,
Mhm.
DJ and Ethan. DJ actually just fought last week on Fight Pass, dropped a close decision, but these guys are very young. They're like 22 and 19 years old, and they're already fighting professionally. And the younger one, the 19-year-old Ethan, he's fighting on the 15th, and I think that fight will be on Fight TV for Gulf Coast MMA. And super good. These guys at 22 and 19 come in and push me every day. And I got another guy, Carlton Terrence, who's coming up on the ranks. He's still fighting amateur, but he's got about 7, 8 fights, and he'll be looking to make his next fight on the same show on the 15th with Ethan.
Being a vet of the sport, and you're giving them all the know-how, man, at such an early age, it must be satisfying for yourself too, at the even though you're still fighting.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, man. And I like that, I've done a lot in this sport and I can open up doors for these guys. Like I do a lot of dealings for them. I get them fights here and there. Uh, kind of like a manager, but we're all teammates. I try to look out for the best interests of these guys, steer them in the right direction. I've already showed them that you can make it to the UFC. You don't have to be somebody off in like a TriStar or America Top Team to make it to the UFC. I made it to the UFC here, training every day in our little small gyms. So uh, that's the good part.
Definitely lead by example. Now, in this fight coming up, man, how do you see yourself taking out Hudson?
Man, like I said, just putting on that pace, getting in his face, and hitting him as hard and as many times as I can until either he drops him and the ref stops it, or until the bell rings at the end of the third round and I win a decision. Either one's going to be fine with me. I'm going to be ready for either one. I'm always ready for war. I'm always ready to wake up the next morning and be limping and maybe cuts in my face and stitches. You know, as long as I don't have nothing broken, I'll be fine. Hopefully, we keep the broken bones out of it, but I'll take some stitches and bruises all day long.
Tom O'Connor versus Demonte Robinson. They're on the other side of the bracket. Have you been keeping your eye on those fighters, or is it you don't matter? It doesn't matter to you.
It doesn't matter right now. I try not to look past. Well, I don't ever look past my opponent, so I have not looked past Scott Hudson for 1 second. I did. I was curious to see who they were going to bring in to replace Kenny Cross on that side, so I did check that guy out that they brought in. But I think as of right now, it's kind of a hard fight to call. But I'm going to go with O'Connor. Man, I felt that he beat the dark horse in this competition in the last fight, and Caceres. Caceres the only guy to ever beat Kamaru Usman. So, and he's actually fought some of my teammates down in South Florida before. So I've been knowing who that guy is, and I'm like, that guy's pretty tough, man. He's big, like 6'3" or something like that. Cuts a lot of weight to get to 155, and Tom got the win over him. So I'm like, man, Prowse, you be one of the tougher guys in the tournament. So I think he'll get the job done.
I think at the start of the tournament, a lot of people were looking at you and Kenny Cross in the finals. I believe that was like the favorites, and you probably still plan on meeting him down the line, right?
I do, man. I ain't taking my eye off of that guy. And I felt like that's why they split him and put him on the other side of the bracket. I don't know if they wanted to put him on my side starting out. And they damn sure didn't want to match him up with me on the first fight. But, no, I give the kid props. The dude's tough, man. He's tough. He's got a little experience behind him. He's been out to Vegas for the contender series. So we'll see, man. I hope to do a speedy recovery, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the competition is great over there. And one last thing, man. Drew Brees retires after 15 seasons. How weird is it going to be in this upcoming season without Drew Brees at quarterback for the Saints?
It's going to be hard, man. I feel like I'm a big Saints fan. I'm a big Saints fan. Everybody know I got my Fleur-de-Lis on the back of my arms. So I basically wear my Saints fan on the sleeve. And it's going to be hard, man. But I do think I like our backup quarterbacks that we had. Jameis Winston and Hill. I think they're going to get the job done. I think Jameis Winston will get the start. But Taysom, he'll probably come in, do his normal thing. They'll probably swap him out. And maybe, if we can get things going right, we still got a lot of good guys on the team. maybe we can make a run, maybe not. You know, I felt like we missed our opportunity the last 3 years. So we'll see what happens.
When you have, like for myself, I'm a Seahawks fan, but when you have success for so long and then,
Yep.
it comes up to like a crossing point, you get to the point as a fan, like, okay, if we have a good season, we have a good season, but I'm not
Yep.
expecting nothing out of it. Is
Right.
that where you're
And
at?
that's where I'm at, man. I don't
Okay.
expect to win a Super Bowl. I expected to win the Super Bowl the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And, I actually had a shirt from the very first Super Bowl, the official Saints Super Bowl shirt from 2009. Never wore it. And I always said, when the Saints make it back to Super Bowl, I'm wearing this shirt on that day. And I've taken that shirt out of the closet for the last 3 years, ready to put it on. And I'm like, damn. So after this year, I'm like, this is a curse, man. I put the shirt on after we lost. I was about to throw it away, but I put it on. I'm like, I'm gonna break this curse. I love Drew Brees. Drew Brees, the freaking man. I wish that he would come back for one more year, but man, it's been a hell of a ride with Drew Brees, and the Saints would have never got anywhere where they were at without Drew Brees. So he's the man. He's the GOAT.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, I love Drew Brees. Well, anyways, you're back in action May 28th, XFC 44, lightweight tournament semifinals, man. Thank you, Kurt, for the time and all the best, man. I can't wait to see you out there performing again.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the interview. I appreciate it.